Are you wondering what it's like to cruise post-COVID? What are the new rules? Are the ships safe? And how is it all going to affect your next cruise vacation? Today, we're on board Royal Caribbeans Symphony of the Seas to find out. Just before we get started, remember to check all of the latest details with your individual cruise providers. These rules are changing daily, so you need to make sure you get the latest from whoever you're cruising with. I'm speaking from my own experience, which is cruising with a Royal Caribbean. Whether you're a seasoned cruiser or just go once in a while, you will notice lots of new rules and changes when you go on your next cruise vacation. Before you board the ship, you will have to prove your vaccination status. Usually this is done via an app on your phone. You take a picture of your vaccination card, upload it, wait a few days and get validated. You will have to show this green check mark when you are boarding the ship for the first time. Next, you will need to test negative for COVID within 2 days of your sailing, which means either scheduling a test on your own at your convenience, ordering a take-at-home test kit, or taking it when you get to the cruise terminal. This last option is a bit risky and costs the most, $100 per person in Royal Caribbean's case. So let's say if you're sailing on Friday, you have to take the test between Wednesday and your sailing. Test negative and prove that to get on the boat. Those two things together will prove your status, give you a purple bracelet in Royal Caribbean's case, and allow you to enter. You need to wear it for your entire cruise and show it to get into vaccinated events, but more about that later. Let's talk about getting on the ship. There are new changes here as well. You no longer can just show up anytime and get on board. You basically need to book a reservation with a specific arrival time. There are a limited number of reservations for each time slot, so if you want to get on the boat earlier, check in as soon as it's available and pick that earliest time slot. They do get picked very quickly, so make sure to check in as early as possible. You will now be able to get on the ship earlier than your appointment, and the new rules limit the amount of people inside those terminals. So if you show up earlier than your time, you will be waiting online outside until your appointment. I highly suggest you show up just a few minutes before your time, get on the appropriate line, and minimize the amount of time you have to just be standing around. Once you get into the cruise terminal, it's all smooth sailing. There's no sitting around anymore or waiting. The process is designed to just keep you moving and get you on the ship. Let's talk muster drills. If you have a cruise before, you know about this mandatory drill that everyone has to take. Well, no more sitting around in your muster stations. You now have an option to take the drill on your phone via that app. A pro tip here is to do it while you're boarding the ship. And traditional muster drills are available if you would like them as well. Another change is the separation of events. You will notice some events are for fully vaccinated guests, while others are mixed. Young children cannot get vaccinated, and because of the mixture, some events are off limit unless you have that bracelet, the purple one in the Royal Caribbean case. Other events are mixed, so the Royal Theater is one of them. The downstairs is fully vaccinated area where you do not have to wear a mask or socially distance, while upstairs is the unvaccinated area where a mask is required and you need to socially distance. The downstairs requires a bracelet, the upstairs does not. Speaking about masks and socially distancing, you have to wear a mask inside no matter what. Even if you're actively eating or drinking, you have to mask up in between each bite and sip, and this is very much enforced by the staff. You don't have to wear a mask outside, including pools, outside decks, Central Park, boardwalk, solarium, while you're sitting down and eating at a restaurant, or in a fully vaccinated event like the downstairs in the Royal Theater. Otherwise, it's mask on. Other observations: all surfaces like tables, chairs, elevators, buttons, and etc. all get wiped constantly. At the end of each cruise, I heard that the entire ship gets disinfected from ceiling to floor. Crowds are asked to distance as much as possible, only 6 to an elevator, and sitting at every other table when dining. You are forced to sanitize or wash your hands when you walk into any restaurant. Tables have a card system now that requires a wipe from staff before anyone else can use it. No more picking up of your own food. Windjammer, Solarium Bistro, and other cafes have extra staff to help with plating. You are no longer allowed to touch any food but your own. There is a limited space at shows, restaurants, and events. You need to book reservations for pretty much anything. No more promenade parties. Any area that has a mixture of vaccinated and unvaccinated guests has to be masked and socially distanced, and because of this, there are no more big parties on the boats. And lastly, disembarkation. There's no more leaving your room and waiting at a muster station with everyone else. You now wait in your room until your number is called. Then you simply walk out of the room and just keep going and get off the boat. All in all, I found my cruise to be a very safe and enjoyable experience. My only inconveniences were wearing a mask inside and making reservations for everything. I found the rest of the changes to be actually quite positive. In fact, I made a whole review of my cruise experience on Symphony of the Seas. I will link that for you up top. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.